Today we'll talk about things that go bump in the night. Did you hear something? Shh. Footsteps along the corridor? Oh, I'm glad it's only Jolie and gang.
Do you believe in ghosts? It's hard not to believe when you hear some of the stories. When my cousin came over, we all snuggle up in bed and start telling ghost stories.
I don't think there are any ghosts. It's just your mind playing tricks on you.
Well, I've seen all those Pontianak films and those Friday the 13th ones. Sure look spooky. Why would anyone want to make them up?
I avoid those movies like the plague, because I can't sleep afterwards. I remember I was all alone at home once and I thought I heard footsteps in the staircase. I almost jumped out of my skin.
Did you just watch a scary movie not long before?
Yes, just about 2 nights before, but
There you go. It's just your imagination running wild for sure.
I don't know. I get a big dose of ghost stories when I go back to my mom's kampong. The boys there are always trying to frighten each other with the latest ghost stories. We'd sit under a banana tree and wait for things to happen.
And do they? Why a banana tree and not a rambutan or chiku tree?
It seems that spooks are attracted to banana trees. Once we heard a voice like someone groaning in pain, and we all ran for our lives.
Really? Then what happened? Did the ghost follow you?
I don't know if it was a ghost or one of the bigger guys trying to play a trick on us. Anyway, we all felt a bit shaken after that and decided to call off the session. Well, I've seen all those Pontianak films and those Friday the 13th ones. Sure look spooky. Why would anyone want to make them up?
Spooky. Scary. I avoid those movies like the plague. I try hard not to watch those movies. To avoid something like the plague is to avoid it altogether.
I remember I was all alone at home once and I thought I heard footsteps in the staircase. I almost jumped out of my skin.
Jumped out of my skin. Was very frightened.
There you go. It's just your imagination running wild for sure.
Your imagination running wild. Your imagination playing tricks on you.
It seems that spooks are attracted to banana trees. Once we heard a voice like someone groaning in pain, and we all ran for our lives.
Ran for our lives. Ran very fast away from something terrible or frightening.
So much for the Ghostbusters, huh? My mom says you shouldn't play with things that you don't know about. You'll regret it.
I agree. In my old school in Ipoh, some girls were playing the Spirit of the Coin game. You know, the one where you summon the spirit to come and answer your questions? It seemed that the spirit refused to go back, and they had a hard time trying to coax it back.
I hate to admit it, but I'm attracted to spooky movies. It makes my hair stand on ends, but it's thrilling.
Didn't we always say that you had a fascination for the morbid? Dracula, vampires, and the things that go bump in the night.
Yes, if you're ever out of a job, Burhan, you should enlist as a Ghostbuster. These are people who go around checking to see if ghost stories are really true, or whether they're just pranks.
That would be just up my street.
I think I've seen a TV program on this. Don't they carry a lot of scientific equipment with them?
They've got all these special methods to prove the presence of ghosts. I can just see Burhan fitting right in.
It's a pity you weren't living in Paris in 1880. Otherwise, the directors of the opera house could hire you to track down the phantom.
But the phantom turned out to be a man, right? Not a ghost.
Well, that's according to our literature book. But apparently there are many different versions of the story. The story has been told so many times that it changes a little each time.
You're right. I asked my mom about it, and she said that in the musical, he's a phantom or a ghost. She saw it in London, and she loved it.
Oh, my parents went down when the musical came to Singapore. Look. They even bought the CD. Oh.
Can we listen to it? I'm dying to hear the music.
Oh, we don't have a player. I think I saw one in the other room. Look, why don't we discuss the text first and then listen to the CD?
Good idea. Otherwise, we might get too carried away and ditch our books. My mom's always humming the tunes, but she can't remember the words.
Didn't we you always say that you had a fascination for the morbid? Dracula, vampires, and the things that go bump in the night.
Fascination for the morbid. Attraction to the gruesome or weird. Things that go bump in the night. The supernatural. Things that cannot be explained rationally.
That would be just up my street.
Just up my street. Just what I would like to do.
Good idea. Otherwise, we might get too carried away and ditch our books. My mom's always humming the tunes, but she can't remember the words.
Ditch our books. Forget our books.
What's an opera house anyway? It's got nothing to do with Oprah Winfrey, has it?
No, that's Oprah, spelled O-P-R-A-H, a lady's name. But this is O-P-E-R-A. Opera is a stage drama with performers singing most of the lines and accompanied by an orchestra.
Do we have an opera house in Malaysia?
No, we don't. But the Petronas Philharmonic Hall sometimes has performances that feature songs from the opera.
You remind me of the girl with the black hair in chapter 1, the one that doesn't believe in ghosts.
I wonder what Madame Gairi meant when she said Joseph Bukit is going to be sorry, very sorry.
Sorry to butt in, Borhan, but I couldn't sit still and let you get away with the wrong pronunciation. It should be Giri and Joseph Bouquet. We're in Paris, remember? And these are French names. French pronunciation isn't the same as English.
Thanks, mentor. Hey, there's a pronunciation guide at the back of the book, on page 47. But you need to know phonetics for that. It's got funny symbols.
Phonetics are a way of describing certain sounds by the use of symbols and letters. It is very useful if you are studying a foreign language.
To get back to your question, Borhan, what Madame Giri is saying is that Joseph will regret talking about the Phantom. Since the Phantom does not like people talking about him, he may do something to hurt Joseph.
The Phantom is not a very nice person, is he? Like Madame Giri says, he is a good friend, but a bad enemy. Best to stay out of his way.
I think we'll have to continue this discussion tomorrow. I've got a replacement tuition class today. Do you guys mind?
I'm feeling kind of sleepy too. Must be the weather. Say about 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. Excuse me, Borhan. Jolie told me that she's going to be a little late, but told us not to wait. She has to go visit her auntie in the hospital.
What's wrong with her? Is she ill?
No, her auntie just gave birth to a baby boy, and Jolie is accompanying her mom to the hospital. Do you see that Chandran was out of town?
Out of the country, actually. He's gone to India for his aunt's wedding. He has never been to India, so his mother figured it would be a good time for him to visit.
Okay, where did we stop? Oh yes. Christine Daae replaced La Carlota and became the talk of the town because she sang with the voice of an angel.
I guess it means that her voice was very sweet. So, then, why did Raul's brother not like his brother to fall in love with Christine?
Well, you must remember that Europe at that time was divided into classes. The Cheny family was of the aristocratic class, whereas Christine was a nobody. People didn't think too highly of singers and actresses then.
I suppose it would be something similar to one of our Tan Sri's sons marrying a clerk today.
Well, not quite, but I guess you get the picture. Do you know what the word mademoiselle means?
Yes, it's French for miss. Madame is Mrs.
There's this part on page 16. It reads, at 3:10, he began to feel unhappy. At 3:30, he wanted to die or to kill somebody. I'm not quite sure what it means.
I think that Raoul was first disappointed because it was already 3:10 and Christine was supposed to meet him at 2. Then, he probably was very frustrated, and slowly that frustration turned to anger. It's normal. If a girl stood me up like that, I'd blow my top.
Oh, so have you been out on a date then?
Well, no. But if any of my friends, boy or girl, made an appointment but kept me waiting for over half an hour, I'd be fuming, wouldn't you?
Where did we stop? Oh yes. Christine Dyer replaced La Carlota and became the talk of the town because she sang with the voice of an angel.
Talk of the town. The topic of discussion all over town. Usually, a person becomes the talk of the town when she has done something very good or very bad. For example, Christine would have also been the talk of the town if she had eloped with Raoul.
Well, you must remember that Europe at that time was divided into classes. The Chani family was of the aristocratic class, whereas Christine was a nobody.
Aristocratic class. The upper class. Nobility.
Well, not quite, but I guess you get the picture.
Get the picture. To understand.
It's normal. If a girl stood me up like that, I'd blow my top.
Stood me up. To not show up after making an appointment. It is considered bad manners to stand someone up. You should call ahead to cancel an appointment if you can't make it. Blow my top. Get very angry.
But kept me waiting for over half an hour, I'd be fuming, wouldn't you?
I'd be fuming. Another way of saying you would get very angry.
Oh yes, I hate to be kept waiting. Oh, hi Jolly.
Hello. Oh, Jason is so cute. He's got this sleepy face and he's always yawning. And he's only so tiny.
I take it that you're talking about your cousin. Newborn babies are ugly.
No, they're not. What a thing to say. They're so cute.
Well, that's only later. They're all shriveled up when they are first born, after spending 9 months in the womb.
My auntie looked tired but very happy. It's her first child. Okay, I hope you didn't wait for me. I told Alina I'll be late.
No, we started. Well, Raoul and Christine are in the park, and he says, all Paris is at your feet.
Raoul means that Christine is famous and everyone in Paris adores her. I remember they used that phrase when they described the new Miss World, that she had the world at her feet. Must be nice.
Have you ever had breakfast in bed like Carlota?
No, but I've seen my dad do that for my mom on her birthday. He brings whatever she wants, toast, pancakes, roti canai, on a tray and serves her breakfast in bed. Isn't that wonderful?
That must be so nice. I'll tell my dad to do that for my mom. I know she would love it.
Poor Carlota. She thinks that Christine is plotting against her, but it's all the work of the Phantom. The part when he made her croak, she must have been the laughing stock of the whole opera house.
My mom said that she still remembers the chandelier crashing at the Kallang Stadium where they staged the musical. Well, not really crashing into the audience, but just above their heads. It was really well done, took the audience by surprise.
Well, that's only later. They're all shriveled up when they are first born.
Shriveled up. Becoming smaller, with the surface becoming wrinkled.
The part when he made her croak, she must have been the laughing stock of the whole opera house.
Laughing stock of the whole opera house. Object of ridicule.
My mom said that she still remembers the chandelier crashing at the Kallang Stadium where they staged the musical.
Chandelier, an elaborate lighting fixture that is suspended from the ceiling, usually found in hotel foyers and ballrooms.
I think the Phantom must have looked hideous, with no nose and 2 black holes for eyes. If I was Christine, I'd faint at the mere sight of him.
And this Persian guy? What's Persia?
I know. Persia is the old name for Iran. You know, Omar Khayyam, the famous poet. He was Persian.
Oh really? I've heard the name, but I can't say I've read any of his poems. It's called The Ruby or something.
The Rubaiyat. My dad has a copy at home. It has a lot of love poetry in it. Omar Khayyam must have been a romantic dude.
Well, thank God for the Persian. Otherwise, Christine would not have been saved. To think that the Phantom had a torture room.
I guess you should also look at it from the Phantom's point of view. He never had love. Even his mother rejected him. So it made him bitter and vengeful.
Yes, the minute Christine kissed him, he became a changed man. It's as if a spell had been broken.
He must have been overcome by her tenderness. I guess he never expected Christine to kiss him, unless he forced her to.
She wanted to save Raoul, remember? Either she agreed to marry the Phantom, or Raoul would die. I must say she was a brave girl. Like I said, I would have fainted just seeing the Phantom's face.
What does this part mean? And so he lived this strange life, half man, half phantom. But he was a man in the end. He wanted a woman's love.
Well, you know how ghosts are only supposed to come out at night? But because of his ugly face, the Phantom also stayed underground, preferring darkness instead of light.
And he was human after all. Every man longs to be loved by a woman. And Eric was no different. I feel quite sad for the Phantom actually.
It's only a story, Jolie. Don't get upset. And so, Christy and Raoul live happy ever after. I like happy endings.
That's very unlike you. I thought you were the master of morbidity.
Oh well, it can't be too predictable, you know. Okay, can we listen to the CD now?
Oops, I clean forgot. I'm so sorry. I took it out of my bag last night to listen to it. I must have left it in the player. I'm really sorry. I'll bring it tomorrow.
I can't make it tomorrow. Can we make it Friday? I want to hear it too.
Okay, Friday then? But can you call me to remind me about the CD, Jolie?
Okay, both Borhan and I will call you so that you won't forget.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, see you.
I think the Phantom must have looked hideous, with no nose and 2 black holes for eyes. If I was Christine, I'd faint at the mere sight of him.
Hideous, very ugly.
It has a lot of love poetry in it. Omar Khayyam must have been a romantic dude.
Romantic dude. A romantic person. Dude is a slang for a man or a boy.
He never had love. Even his mother rejected him. So it made him bitter and vengeful.
Vengeful. Wanting to take revenge.
Yes, the minute Christine kissed him, he became a changed man. It's as if a spell had been broken.
Became a changed man. To become a changed man is to turn over a new leaf. In this instance, the Phantom, who was bitter and vengeful, became kind and thoughtful after he was kissed by Christine.
That's very unlike you. I thought you were the master of morbidity.
Oh well, it can't be too predictable, you know.
Master of morbidity. To be a master of something is to be an expert. Here, Alina is implying that Borhan is very, very morbid.
Hey guys. Hi. Should I put on the CD? This is the soundtrack of the musical. It's rather long, about 2 hours. So I'll play bits and pieces, okay?
Sure.
Is this the one that was performed in London or in Singapore?
Well, they're both the same. It's the one produced by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he then licensed it to different opera companies. According to the musical, Christine thinks that the Phantom is an angel of music sent by her dead father. Here, she's explaining this to Matt. Okay, listen.
Now as I see, I can sense him, and I know it is
Christine sounds like she's in a trance. She hears the Phantom's voice, but is not sure where it's coming from.
Or she probably thinks it is her late father. Poor Christine. She must be really confused.
This is the Phantom's voice. He's scolding Raoul. This is in Christine's dressing room, remember? Raoul hears a man's voice, but there's no one in the room when he checks it. Listen. This is the soundtrack of the musical. It's rather long, about 2 hours. So I'll play bits and pieces, okay?
Soundtrack. The music and songs of a musical.
Well, they're both the same. It's the one produced by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he then licensed it to different opera companies. According to the musical, Christine thinks that the Phantom is an angel of music sent by her dead father.
Licenses it to different opera companies. Gives permission to the opera companies to perform the musical in return for a fee.
And this is the part where the Phantom leads Christine underground to his house. This scene is supposed to be very spooky in the musical. There's mist on the lake, and the Phantom rolls Christine across it. There's a candle flickering all over.
Wow, I think I'd like to see the musical. It really would make the book come alive. I can imagine the scene right before me. The last part sounds so eerie.
I'm not sure if it's still playing in London. Do you know, Jolly?
No, but I'm sure my mother would. She makes it a point to go see a play at the West End whenever she's in London.
And this part is really funny. When the Phantom makes Carita croak like a toad.
He's really quite mischievous, the Phantom.
It's quite funny at Carlotta's expense. Well, I would really love to borrow those CDs at some point.
They're my mom's favorite and she won't let anyone borrow them. I'm sorry, but she said you're welcome to come by my place anytime to listen to them.
Yeah, I know what she means. My dad has some Beatles CD which he refuses to let out of his sight. They're so precious to him.
My mom bought it at a show. I don't know if they stock it at the shops. She promised to take me to the next musical if it ever comes to this region.
I think Miss Saigon just came to Singapore, but it's over now. This Lloyd Webber guy, you know, he's done a whole series of shows.
Yes, like Cats, Les Miserables.
Oh, is it by the same guy? I've heard of Cats.
Oh, he's been knighted by the Queen, so now he's Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber.
And do you know that the girl who played the part of Christine is his ex-wife? Sarah Brightman. They're divorced now.
My goodness, you girls are a mine of information. Chandan sure is missing something.
He's probably too busy having a good time to even think of us.
I'd better run. I have to babysit my kid sister today. My parents are going out for a party.
Well, thank you Alina for taking the trouble. I really enjoyed that.
Me too. And when Chandran comes back, we'll plan a trip to your house to listen to the whole CD.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
Okay, bye.
See you. Wow, I think I'd like to see the musical. It really would make the book come alive. I can imagine the scene right before me.
To make the book come alive. To make the book interesting, as if the action is happening right in front of you.
No, but I'm sure my mother would. She makes it a point to go see a play at the West End whenever she's in London.
Make it a point to remember to do something.
My dad has some Beatles CD which he refuses to let out of his sight. They're so precious to him.
Let out of his sight. Allow something to be taken away.
Oh, he's been knighted by the Queen, so now he's Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Knighted by the Queen. To be given the rank of knighthood by the Queen of England for services rendered to the public.
My goodness, you girls are a mine of information. Chandan sure is missing something.
Mine of information. Source of knowledge. A gold mine is a place where gold can be found. Hence, a mine of information is where information can be obtained.